So let's talk about the never-ending saga of Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, Toure, and now another voice has entered into the fray who goes by the name of Mark Lamont Hill. You might know Mr. Hill from his activism, and now he also is one of the co-hosts on Joe Budden podcast. Shout out to Joe Budden and the crew, Queens Flip, everybody else over there. I see y'all. So Mark Lamont Hill decided to have his buddy Toure come on one of his shows, one of Mark Lamont Hill shows, and talk about the situation that occurred on Toure and Dr. Bryant's show in the past. Now, I did an earlier video on that issue. I included the clip of the confrontation they had. My point of view, just to refresh your memory, was that Toure, like I've always suspected of him, not always, but since he's been back on my radar, and I'll tell you how he got back on my radar, but I've always, just by his disposition, his demeanor, I felt like, he's not the alpha male type that, inspires me and pushes me to be a better person. So with that being said, so he's on this show with Mark Lamont Hill, just the two of them. And watching those two guys sit there together, they remind me of a joke. So two beta males walk into a bar and no one noticed. But anyway, these two guys engaged in a discussion primarily about what took place between Toure and Cheyenne Bryant. Now, to me, I'm sort of don't fully comprehend or grasp why these grown men are so obsessed with seeing the downfall of this woman. It's like, is she a scorned lover of yours? What did this girl do to you that all you men out there, I've seen you on social media, men like Toure and Mark Lamont Hill with huge platforms and reputations that I guess, they stand behind. Why are you platforming this what are they doing to this girl? They're like they're piling on to her these attacks. And it's like, bro, what does this have to do with y'all specifically that you're so invested in making sure that she pays for what she did? Now, the reason why I'm focusing on Mark Lamont Hill and Toure specifically is not just because they are ganging up on this lady. Because I'm not defending this lady. I don't really have an opinion on whatever this story is. I don't care enough to form an opinion about it. And if people want to weigh in, I think this should be left up to women to weigh in on this. Let other women say and express how they feel about this. But you men, you so-called men, the second you start trying to tear this woman down for whatever is going on with her, you instantly put yourself into a beta male category. Alpha males don't do what y'all doing. And there's a lot of y'all out there. I'm just naming Toure and Mark Lamar Hill right now. And the reason why I'm naming them first is because I used to, like Mark Lamar Hill, I always found him to be intelligent, like they say, articulate. And he was able to debate different issues on a scholarly level, right? Cool. But recently, just recently, I've noticed that he has political stances that I'm not in support of. He supports Palestine. So if he supports Palestine, that means he supports Hamas. Hamas is a terrorist network that has spilled American blood, so I don't respect that at all, but he does support Palestine and Hamas, and he's in favor of open borders, abolish ICE, amnesty for illegal aliens. Those issues right there will, no matter what else you stand for, if you're promoting in support of those two issues, with illegal immigration, open borders, and Palestine and supporting terrorists, I can't rock with you at all. And I will tear you down publicly every chance I get just because of those stances. Now, a lot of people might be thinking, well, why would you go so hard at a person that's trying to uplift the community in a positive way? Okay, well, I find that, no matter everything else he does that might, I don't know what it would be, but promoting those two stances to me is a complete betrayal of American standards. Like, you're going against American foreign interests when you start supporting Palestine and start supporting open borders, because you're in favor of dangerous people entering our country without any vetting process whatsoever by the millions, who have no skills, who don't read or write or speak English, who don't have any money to come to this country and invest. So they're a net negative on the overall prosperity of this nation. And people like Mark Lamar Hill and Toure support that. They want to abolish ICE, open the borders, and destroy America. So that's why they stay on my radar, because I don't like leftists like that. Even if you have or you have supported other, social issues that I might not be, I might be in sort of agreement with a little bit. The illegal immigration, the illegal alien, the open border, the abolish ICE, all of that, to me, I can't support that. And anybody who does is, to me, just a complete, butthole. So I'm already in a place with these guys where it's like, yo, I don't like their politics. And now I don't like the fact that they're ganging up on a woman who hasn't had, and like I said, I'm not defending her and I'm not accusing her. I'm just, let this thing play out how it plays out. But you men out there should have other, more important things to talk about than this woman. What did she do to y'all? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Did y'all, I don't know, you guys been around for a while. Did she curb you back in the days? The people, curious minds want to know. And like I said earlier, it's not just these two guys. And I'm going to make more videos on, and I can tell you who I'm going to come for later. D.L. Hughley, Corey Haim. Corey Feldman. Corey Holcomb. That's what I'm trying to talk about. Yeah, him. I'm coming for him next. D.L. Hughley and a few other men who are getting on platforms to bash this woman. Y'all know how, you know how bitch-defied you look doing that, bro? For real. For real. Like, you really look silly attacking a woman. You got time out of your day. You're supposed to be a busy entertainer. And then when people invite you onto their platforms, instead of promoting your entertainment projects, you get up there to bash a woman. Why? Did she curb you too, DL? We gonna find out eventually what's really behind this, because you men look silly. Like I said, you look like bitch-defied, angry men. Like, why? What did this girl do to y'all? Even if she is guilty of everything y'all accusing her of, what personal damage did you suffer? Now you all got all this righteous indignation about, oh, she got a license and she shouldn't be doing this and she should be held accountable. You sound like bitches. Why do you care if somebody's held accountable for stuff? Since when y'all start crying accountability about anything? This is what I'm talking about. You the same people that support Democrats and open borders and not having the right to defend yourself according to the Second Amendment. You the ones pushing the trans agenda on children. That's you. So why now you want things done by the book, but you all for letting in illegal aliens cross to the border? I'm still talking about you, D.L. Hughley. I know the positions you take. You anti-Trump. Why? Why are you anti-Trump? Why are you anti-America first? Why do you hate the United States of America? I'm talking to you entertainers out there. I'm talking to y'all, because you could have your views, right? But when you come on large platforms and you use your status as a well-known person and you use a large platform to spew your personal political views that you want other people to adopt and support, why would you do that? You're comedians, you're journalists, you're activists, and I don't see you activating. No, I know that's not a word to use in this terminology, but I don't see you putting forth any activism for the people who are not being heard in this country, who want the United States to be for legal citizens only. Our voices are getting drowned out by the mass media, by a lot of forces that trying to destroy this country. Now, bringing me back to what I was saying about Cheyenne Bryant, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, Toure, Mark Lamar Hill, D.L. Hughley, Corey Holcomb, bunch of grown men. These are like grown men. Some of these dudes, they've been around for a while. Don't let them fool you. A lot of these dudes, not D.L. Hughley, but a couple of these entertainers are in their late 50s and 60s and they dye their hair. So you don't know that they're really full of gray hair and, whatever. But that's neither here nor there. But these dudes are piling onto a woman who's being dragged in the public eye. Dragged. And your fake outrage is what really pisses me off. Since when did you start caring about how the families that she treated was affected Like, man, get out of here with your phony concern, man. You're not fooling nobody. You people, there's a cabal of entertainers and media personalities, like I said on another video, social media personalities who use their platforms to push political agendas and ideologies that I don't support, but that the far left are in support of. So yeah, these grown men are making themselves look really sad and pathetic that they don't got nothing else better to do than to pile on to this woman and whatever she's going through. Like, just let it play out. Because the funny thing is, like Christ said, pull the beam out your own eye. You worried about what this lady doing in life? Worry about yourself. Pull the beam out your own eye before you got worried about the beam in someone else's. Hypocrites, man. So I'm on y'all neck. I'm on Toure's neck because you got stupid political positions. You're a beta male. You like to attack women in public. You dragging out a little back and forth that you had with a female colleague a couple of years back. You guys, you really make yourselves like, I don't respect you. I'm going to tell you straight up and down. I don't respect what you're doing. I don't respect what you stand for. And if you say you stand for things, but I'm seeing you pushing other agendas, I'm going to call your bluff on that. That's a fact. So, I'm going to have to make more videos on this topic because it seems not to go away. I'm like, what do you want these people to do? Y'all want them to tar and feather the girl in the town square? That's what y'all want? Y'all want her to be drawn and quartered? And she got to be held accountable. So that means Corey Holcomb should be held accountable for hitting that lady, right? Outside that comedy club, right? Like I said, beams. You got beams beaming out your own eyes. And you got the nerve to be pointing at somebody else's alleged wrongdoing. Y'all a sorry excuse for men, I'll tell you that. And like I said, the reason why I mentioned D.L. Hughley too is because he's a Democrat supporter. He's with the far left lunatic fringe. He's anti-America first. He can't give Donald Trump credit for anything because all he can do is see race. And he doesn't allow, or he attacks people who think independently and are capable of critical thinking and analysis. So I really would like if people like that would just stick to entertainment for one thing. Movies, comedy, stand, do what y'all do. It's like a lot of you get on these podcasts and you don't even think about what you're saying. You just start running your mouths. That's a feminine quality when you certain topics that men weigh in on, it just makes you look less masculine. So you already a beta, and now you slipping into the realm of being like an omega, like a real, like, don't pay that guy no mind. So I'm not going to let up off you dudes on any of these issues until y'all start making sense again. But attacking Dr. Cheyenne Bryant as men, as grown, middle-aged men, you're not 21, 22. You guys are middle-aged. You know what I'm saying? And only certain things should be worth your commentary. Things of weighty matters, like Jesus said. He said the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they concerned with appearances and superficial things to try to prove righteousness and holiness. But they don't consider the weightier matters of the law. That's what y'all guys need to do. You need to become more serious about what you say in public and the things you choose or the topics you choose to discourse on these public platforms. Because right now, attacking this girl over and over and over again ain't it. Like I said, I'm not defending her. I just don't have enough energy to like be concerned with what's going to become of her. Why y'all so hell-bent on finding out? But let me know what y'all think in the comments, please. I would love, some feedback from you guys. Also, I'm trying to grow my subscribership, Xang Kevlar TV. So, subscribe, grow the channel with me. Y'all know I'm coming straight out of New York City. Matter of fact, go Knicks. The Knicks won the championship last night for the first time in 53 years. So go Knicks. Shout out to the whole Knicks squad. Shout out to the whole New York City. Shout out to the whole New York State and everybody that supported us throughout these decades-long wait for us to reclaim the title. So shout out to the Knicks for sure. So yeah, so I got analysis and insights coming to y'all on the topics that people want to discuss. So, subscribe. If you like the video, please hit the like button. And like I said, put it in the comments. I'll catch y'all next time.